Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Anime Brothers podcast. Once again, your now, I messed up the first time, weekly dose of anime topics and other things because I said daily and we're not out daily. We're
Could
out
you
weekly.
imagine?
We could never.
Daily, no.
No.
Fuck, dude. We'd be like 15-minute episodes. Hi, we like anime. Goodbye.
See you later. But yeah, so welcome back. Mr. Earthworm, how are you doing?
We're doing, man. We're here.
You're getting
Doing
through
all right.
it? Is the seasonal depression setting in?
Something, dude. It hasn't even been a bad season.
Yeah, winter's been light.
If I'm not just like huddled up in 8 layers of clothing with a space heater blowing right at me, I'm kind of miserable right now.
Yeah, on your feet, yeah.
It's just boring outside. It's just crummy looking. Like February is without a doubt the most like uninspiring month, I think.
Do you think it's
we
the
can all
worst
agree on
month out
that.
of the year?
The what?
The worst month out of the year. You know, some would say December, but it's like, no, holidays. You know,
Yeah.
January, but New Year's.
Yeah,
So,
that February's probably.
What do you have in February? Valentine's Day?
I guess.
What if you're
dude,
alone?
I don't know. So
know.
yeah, we're doing all right. It's the middle of winter, and I cannot wait for shit to start warming up. You know, March is always a fun month as far as podcast goes. It's our anniversary month, so we usually do some fun shit. I don't think I'm going to be able to convince you to do another Mecha March.
What?
I said I don't think I'm going to be able to
Oh.
convince you to do another Mecha March, but you know, we can try. We can go for it.
I'm
Shoot
sure
our
we
fucking
could.
shot, baby. So yeah, you can read, you can see the title. This is kind of our confession. We've officially run out of ideas as an anime podcast. Please send your ideas to animexbrotherspodcast@gmail.com. Help us, because we have no fucking idea what we're doing anymore.
We have some ideas today.
Yeah, no,
We got some rants and hollers we want to do. It's kind of in the anime news sphere, but yeah.
Yeah, I won't even fucking lie to you guys. This has a lot to do with me.
A lot to do with me.
Yeah, I don't want to say like I'm experiencing burnout. I guess I'm experiencing kind of like pressure and frustration with the whole video thing being added in. Like
Yeah.
it's not that it's necessarily hard. It's not that it's something I can't do. It's just a wrench in my fucking workflow. And as someone who kind of really likes things to go smooth, and when they don't go smooth, I'm like, well, I don't even want to fucking do it anymore.
Yeah.
It's just like, So when JD asked me earlier this week, he's like, what do you got an idea for a topic, man? I'm like, nothing, bro. Not a fucking thing. So this is just kind of where we're at. We have the patron Q&A today, which is wonderful. We're always going to take care of our patrons. Other than that, we're just going to shoot the shit. We're just going to talk.
Shoot the shit.
You know, we got some, I don't know, like full topic things. We got some anime things that we want to talk about. We've been betrayed once more. But like we'll get to that. So yeah, just we're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna do patron Q&A, and then it's just gonna be bullshitting with the boys. So please,
You're here for the boys' adventure.
crack
right now.
open a cold one. For me, it is a nature's
I need to
promise.
start.
Spring
You know,
water.
I'm not condoning it. Anyone underage, but I should just start like drinking. Not
I
heavily.
legitimately, I do not drink. Everybody, I need you. I need
do.
to stress this.
I do.
I do not drink. I almost walked in and I was like, dude, pour me a fucking drink. We're gonna get buzzed while we record this episode.
It would be a blast. I'm telling you, when you sip and you're not like just trying to pound it and get shitty. I mean, it's actually,
See, that's when my stomach is like, bro, you hate this. When I'm putting it in my fucking system so fast that my body can't be like, what is this?
yeah, but then by then you're trashed.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but if I give my body
Okay.
time to think about it, but if my body's already drunk, it's like, all right, we're good, bro. It's fine. We'll
Yeah.
see you in the morning.
in the morning, you're
But
gonna hate
now
yourself.
we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
so we'll get to the check-ins later. Obviously, it's kind of this whole episode. So we're just gonna hop right into it. We're gonna get right into the patron Q&A, and we're gonna answer some questions from our beautiful patrons. Let's do it.
All right, I'm excited for these. I haven't actually read any of them. I just pinned them, and then I'm
Yeah,
like, I
okay.
kind of want to know, like, in the moment. So.
I am notoriously bad at reading. I usually read them when they're posted.
Have you
and then
heard
I
me
don't-
read out loud?
What?
I'm bad at reading.
No, I'm saying
Oh.
like when they're posted. I'm notoriously bad at like reading them and like thinking about
Oh,
what they're
of an
fucking
idea.
saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So but yeah, here we go. All right. Fuck. My brain didn't want to work for a minute. Like I said, seasonal depression, everybody. All right, we're gonna start off with one from our homie Top Flight.
Oh, Top Flight.
And Top Flight has a question. With Solo Leveling coming out this year, it originally was rumored that Ufotable was going to pick it up, and come to find out, A1 Pictures is the one
Of
taking
course.
care of it.
Yeah.
His question is, knowing what Solo Leveling looked like when reading it, which I don't know if he knows. Neither of us have read Solo Leveling, so maybe that's speaking.
Didn't you
from-
watch some of the episodes of it?
Solo Leveling hasn't come out. It's not. It
What was
has
that one where that guy basically is a coward, but he keeps like doing everything by himself in an anime isekai?
What? Are you talking about Cautious Hero?
Yeah,
Okay.
I got it mixed up. but
Yeah, I was gonna say. Also, that premise is wildly off. But
All right,
I get you. No, not the same. Solo
Okay.
Leveling. I don't know much about it. I know it was pretty hype. Like 2020. It
Mhm.
was really, there was a lot of talk, but
During
there was
COVID,
like
yeah.
a lot of manhwas. It's a manhwa. It's a Korean manga. So I think people were kind of saying it was a. I've heard some talk about like it's what I wanted Sword Art Online to be. You know,
Really?
yeah. I guess it takes
I'll
kind
be
of
the judge of that.
it takes the concept of like an overpowered protagonist. I think it's a video game isekai as well, but I guess it, from what I've heard. Now, granted, the people have a hate stick up their ass for Sword Art Online, so take this with a grain of salt. But I heard it's like, well, this is Sword Art Online, but actually good type shit. You know what I mean? So I'm sorry, Top Flight. Neither of us. I've never actually seen.
I
the
didn't even
art.
know. I thought it was a different thing that I'm thinking of.
I
and-
think I've seen a couple cover photos of it, but I don't really have a lot of
but
experience.
Ufotable would have been better because
Anyway.
Ufotable just looks better. So
Yeah. So
but A1 does all right.
So his actual question is,
Oh.
do we think that A1 is going to be able to uphold that type of beautiful hype? Especially considering the rumors that A1 is tanking this anime adaptation. I haven't heard those rumors. That was what he said. That's the first time I've heard about that.
Yeah.
I will say if a studio is trying to tank, like legitimately like ruin an adaptation of an anime, I think that's kind of shitty and bad business practice. And
I didn't think of A1 tanking. I thought A1's been doing a pretty good job with some of their animes. Why would they want to tank something that is supposed to be better or not akin to Sword Art Online?
I have no idea why. I mean, it could be something as ridiculous as like a Japanese Korean like cultural dispute, because I know
yeah.
the Japanese and Koreans have a long history, a fairly brutal history. I don't know many details. I just know like shit was bad between them for a while. So I don't know if there's still some cultural like hang-ups, like, oh, well, why the fuck are we doing a Korean manga when there's all this good Japanese manga? Yeah, we'll take it, and we'll I guess we'll do the adaptation. I'd hope that that's not the case. I really hope that's
I don't
just
think they
shitty
would be.
rumors.
Yeah. I don't think
Um,
they would be.
I think A1 Picture. So I guess what we'll speak to is A1 Pictures' ability to make a good anime, because that's really what he's asking. Do you think A1 Pictures can make a good anime? And like you said already, it's probably not going to be Ufotable level.
No.
That's a really high bar. But I think A1 Pictures can.
Sword
do
Art
good
Online has
work.
done a fine job, even though, it gets hated on. It's like one of the most popular things on iMal. It has a lot of viewers. It's well received. So they make money off of that. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of it, it is decent. Kaguya-sama is made by A1 Pictures.
Yeah,
They do a good job there. 86, as much as we don't like it,
It
a
didn't
lot of
look
people
terrible.
love it. It didn't look
Yeah, it
terrible.
didn't
It's
look
A1 Pictures, so they do fine. But when you compare it to Ufotable and what would look better, of course Ufotable. But
Yeah, I know. So, considering that these rumors are wholly false, I would say I wouldn't worry too much about A1 Pictures. Their ability to put out a good anime, quality anime, it's there. You know what I mean? It's not like
Yeah.
if you said JC Staff was getting this, I would be way more concerned
Ooh.
unless they JC up and fucking redid their entire staff. Get it? It's a shitty joke, but well, we made it. Yeah, so I think we'll be all right. I can understand a Solo Leveling fan they'll be disappointed that Ufotable didn't get to take this one on.
right.
So yeah, Top Flight. Thank you for the question. Now moving on, we have from he keeps getting more titles. It's getting ridiculous at this point.
Okay. All right.
Lord, Sir, Mr. Dr. Ducky,
Lord, Sir, Mr. Dr. Ducky. It's a pleasure to have you.
MD. Their question is question for the month of February is, what anime would you put the gang from Always Sunny in Philadelphia in?
Okay, say it again.
So
The gang from Always Sunny?
Yeah, you get to insert the gang from Always Sunny
Wow.
into an anime.
Oh, shit.
Now, what do we want here? Like, do we want to?
I want something crazy.
Do we want to be Agents of Chaos here?
I want to be like, my favorite part of Always Sunny is when they are talking, they're coming up with a plan. All of a sudden, it just goes off the rails, and people start yelling, and then it's like, and then we'll kill them all. And then it's like, no,
I forgot to put the tape in.
yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm the bad guy. Just stuff like that. So I'm already thinking of like either Dennis or Charlie
Okay,
because I want those outbursts. I just want that.
but
like
it's the whole gang. Like we're tossing.
I
them
thought it was
all
only
in.
one.
No, he said which anime where you get to pick an anime
Oh
that we're
my
throwing
God.
the entire I'd say the main four. We got
Shit.
Mac, Dennis, Charlie, D.
Okay.
Oh shit, and Frank. So
And
that's five
Frank,
of them.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Wow. Oh God.
Yeah, all right.
It has to be something that can
I think
have
they-
their humor in it.
I
You
think they
can't put
fit
them in like
well.
Kotaro Lives Alone. That just doesn't work.
Oh my god. See, that's what I meant by being an agent of chaos though. Like do
Oh,
we want
just-
to add them into like imagine them in like Fate Zero? Some like really really serious
No,
like,
there can't be life
bullshit.
and death because there's no way they would live in that world. They would get killed. So
I don't know, man, the Dennis system.
the dentist system. I was gonna say, honestly, I just said Kaguya, but imagine that shit. Like,
Yeah.
imagine like I'm not saying Kaguya because she's in like a mansion, but I forgot his name, the blonde guy,
Shirogane?
Shirogane.
Shirogane?
He lives in a normal place, right?
Yeah. he's-
Imagine
yeah.
his neighbors are them, and he like once in a while he'll come out in the hallway and they're going through a moment.
Yeah.
That would work and also be crazy.
I was thinking Konosuba because Konosuba's essentially
Yes.
just Always Sunny in
They get
Philadelphia.
they get isekai there, and then they just freak the fuck out. And
Yeah,
they try
just
to make
honestly, any isekai would be great. Like any basic fucking shield hero, whatever you want to call it. Just, I think that would be wonderful. I would really
Yeah.
enjoy seeing that.
All right, so we're gonna go with Konosuba and Kaguya-sama. That works.
Yeah, just any video game because now I'm just picturing like them, but having to deal with this like new society, this like feudal realms, fucking fantasy society.
Mhm.
But they're still just so fucking full of shit. You know how these people? They're just the 5 of the worst people you've ever met.
Yeah.
And like next thing you know, Charlie joins like a guild of like beast people or something, and he's gonna go do some like weird shit.
D's
and he-
trying to flirt with the guys there, and even they don't want her.
Yeah. Frank is like Frank has already killed somebody.
And I just started blasting.
Dennis sees like some orc woman and he's like, she's so ugly. And then she shows no interest in him, and he spends the next entirety of the episode trying to get her.
Shows
like,
up with his shirt off.
yeah,
Oh,
trying to
man,
earn
yeah.
her favor.
Yep.
It's dude, shit writes itself, bro. I think that's great.
That was a good one.
Dr. Ducky, Lord Sir, Mr. Dr. Ducky,
Thank you,
excuse
sir.
me. Let us know what anime would you put the gang in? That's what I want.
That'd be a
Yeah.
good one.
All right, next question.
Next question.
It's from Najin.
Najin.
What's your favorite anime song opening / ending of all time? So which favorite OP or ED? And they do clarify the Pokemon opening does not count. Cannot be used.
It was gonna be in the top 10, but that wasn't gonna be my number
that
one.
might
anyway,
be my.
so-
Can I use the Poke Rap?
No.
At least
That's in the middle.
150 or more to see.
Okay, enough.
To be a Pokemon master is my destiny. Electro Nidoking.
All right. It's a tough one because there's a current one that I literally have on my iPhone. And
I don't know-
want to do
I don't know if
Chitty
this
Chicky
counts.
Bong Bong. You know.
Okay, yeah. I want to say that this is tangentially related. Summertime Renderings OP is a fucking vibe. Like, I don't know if it's my favorite song. The visuals
It's
are
not your
kind of
favorite, but
stupid.
it's really good.
Like, the visuals aren't great, like,
Yeah.
all things considered, but the song is a vibe. I'm sitting there just like, let's go. Yeah, baby.
How far are you in that now?
Far enough.
That's like 2 more
I'm
episodes.
about halfway through.
Oh, okay.
I think
that's not as bad as I
episode
thought.
10-ish.
That's
I
not
actually,
halfway through. He's lying.
Well, 12 is well, we're about halfway through.
Yeah, okay.
You got I speak in a real weird language, man. Like
Yeah.
You've known me for long enough. You know this.
Anyway, so we have to do the opening. So, but I always go to nostalgia. One of them is Dragon, Rock the Dragon. For Dragon.
It's
Dude,
so-
I love it. I love it so much. Yeah, he's just shredding. But then also Yu Yu Hakusho's. It
Yeah,
just
Smile
it
Bomb kicks ass,
resonates
dude.
in
It's so
my
good.
my head all the time.
It's so good.
In a countryside,
I
wander far and wide.
It's a classic.
It
It's
is.
a bop.
It is.
Bop.
So I'm gonna pick Yu Yu Hakusho for the opening. Endings I don't really listen to, but I do remember Jujutsu Kaisens.
That's a
And
good
oh
one.
my
Oh.
god, if it wasn't for that guy, whatever, stealing money and getting in trouble,
It's back
thing-
on Spotify.
Is
now.
it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that song.
I was
again.
just listening to my Weeps.
I gotta
playlist
heat
a
him up.
few
I gotta
months
heat
ago.
it.
And it just like came on, and I was like, "Wait, oh shit, it's back! Woo, we did it!"
Yeah.
Oh man, so yeah, I guess all right. I'm not gonna try to like pretend that something else is my favorite song and go for a deep cut. Sono Chino Sadame, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the original opening. It's such a fucking banger. It's
Damn.
so good.
I just remember when we had our music tastes, like OPs,
Yeah.
and like no one liked it, and you were so distraught.
Well, I was made to feel better when I mentioned a couple weeks ago. Robbie's been watching JoJo's. I
Yeah,
think
is
he
he
kind
like
of
it?
fell off of it because
Oh.
he's bad at continuing series past like 20 episodes.
Yeah, okay.
But either way, he watched JoJo's and he just hits me up. He's like, "This opening's kind of a bop, isn't it?" I'm
So
like,
he forgot
dude,
it.
it really fucking is." So yeah, I'm gonna remind him that he didn't used to think it was a bop. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go with that one.
Okay.
Ending song though, if which is probably tied for my favorite. It's "Freaking You" from also JoJo's Part 5. Because
You're a nut.
it's so
You're a nut.
no. I've never seen a song be more inappropriate and appropriate at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's perfect. Like it's inappropriate for everything that you would think that, like, if you would describe JoJo's, it's about a bunch of muscly dudes with punchy ghosts, and it's like, okay, well, how is that deserve an R&B song about a dude wanting to fuck his lady? But then you watch it and the song comes on after, and you're just like, now this makes sense. This right here, I get it. So
You get it.
pretty much what I'm telling you is JoJo's is the king.
JoJo's all the way
Queen,
through.
Prince,
Okay.
princess, yeah.
Fair enough, man.
Najin, thank you.
Thank you very much.
And
Najee.
what's your favorite opening? So what's your
Everyone
favorite
that's
song
asked
in
the
anime?
Patreon Q&A question has to answer.
Yeah,
now.
no, I want to. If you have like a thing. All right, hold on. I gotta pull up the pins again. Fucking up here. All right, ready?
Yes, sir.
We're ready. All right, Frostnado is next.
Frostnado.
Frostnado asked, "What are you most excited for in the next month? It can be anime or non-anime related." March mentioned that it's usually a pretty cool month for the podcast. We
Oh,
have
yeah.
literally nothing planned.
We've
Last-
run out of ideas.
Yeah, we ran out of ideas. So we're fucked. No, fuck. Let's see what's going on. in
Our
March?
anniversary is one thing. The unfortunate thing is, like, if you say non-anime, because I'm trying to think of things that are coming out in March, and I just
A
for the
month
life of me,
after, literally.
we
a
go
month
to
after
Anime
that, we have
Boston,
Anime Boston,
and
so-
it's my birthday month, so it's like I like everything in April.
Yeah,
April
April's
is like
gonna
my
be real
favorite
cool.
month for a reason.
Yeah, April's. I don't know that I'm going to be able to experience it because I don't know that I'm going to pay for it. But WrestleMania is coming up in March.
You're gonna watch it?
I would like to. Am I going to pay? How I don't know. how-
$180.
Is it that much?
Well, I don't know. I just remember even back in the day when my
It
dad was
used to be
paying
like
for
a $60 pay-per-view.
yeah, $60, $70 pay-per-views.
And I'm wondering
And that's
if
back
it's-
then, inflation and everything.
Yeah,
now.
like is it comparable to UFC? Because like $80,
UFC is a scam.
UFC is up to like $80 right now, $75, $80. It's fucking ridiculous.
I hate how
and
much
again,
they charge.
Pro tip, anybody, don't fucking tell anybody this because if they take it down, I will fucking find you. But anybody listening, the morning after a pay-per-view, if you have ESPN Plus and Hulu, just sign into Hulu, look up the UFC pay-per-view, and you can watch the fights. Just stay off of fucking Reddit or Twitter or whatever you use for a night, and you're good. Free fights, free pay-per-views.
You gotta stay off the social media.
I watched
completely.
Makachev versus Volkanovski the day after. I had no idea who was going to win, and it was just as exhilarating. If I would actually, I was wide awake because it was the fucking morning. If I would have watched it the night before, I'd have been falling the fuck asleep. So yeah, but WrestleMania. Like I'm excited, dude. Like, all right, I'm gonna still talk about wrestling for just a second, okay? So I'm very new to this, but they got this guy Roman Reigns. He's like got all the big championships right now. He's a fucking monster. Nobody can beat him.
I know Roman Reigns.
Yeah, you know. Okay, so there you go. You know about the guy. And they've been really building up to like who's going to be able to beat this guy. And it feels like this is the year where someone's going to finally do it. Because how are they going to? I think after reading some things on like subreddits, the fans are kind of getting a little like, well, if this guy doesn't beat him, then like who the fuck is going to? It's getting boring. So this WrestleMania seems to be the one where they're going to be like, motherfucker's going to lose the championship. So I want to see how they do that, if they get creative or if it's just going to be a simple, the guy who won the Royal Rumble goes in and
Wins.
beats him. Yeah, like I don't know if are they going to make it a triple threat.
At some point, they just kind of run out of ideas. You know what I mean?
I mean,
To make a main event just one-on-one matches,
I don't mind it because it's WrestleMania and it's about like, it's about the storyline that's building up to it. It's about the wrestlers in the ring, and even if it's not like a crazy tables, ladders, and chairs match, it's still like you care about the people who are wrestling.
I miss the old days.
I do too. By the way,
I may
wanted,
go back on YouTube and look at some old clips. that's for
Frostnado,
sure.
we will finish up your question, but we're here. I wanted to let you know.
Yeah.
I've actually been watching some recent wrestling, and the DDT is still alive. It's still well and good.
It's still alive.
It's still well and good. They do it a little bit differently now, to where the motherfucker doesn't like actually slam the guy's head.
I
It's
know,
more
but
of,
that's
like,
the best part.
But it's more.
Did
of,
you remember the one times that they'd hold themselves up there for a minute?
Yeah,
And you know
and
that's all rehearsed, but then it's like you felt the impact.
Yeah, but yes, but people were breaking their necks. Like
no,
that was
only Stone Cold broke his neck.
Kurt Angle actually broke his neck in the Olympics, but no, motherfuckers have actually have more people have sustained neck injuries from. That's why the pile driver, you got to be a real trusted motherfucker to let somebody pile drive you. You know what I mean? Or I get pile drive. Fuck, man. But yeah, so the DDT is still well and good. People are still jumping off the top rope. I haven't seen any hardcore matches or stuff, but I've seen blood.
Right.
I've seen the shit. So it's not as wild as Attitude Era, where it's Stone Cold's taking the beer truck out and soking everybody with a beer.
No shit.
It's not they're not doing that.
I wish they still did
trust
that.
me, I do too, but I think that's just a bygone era. We all wish we could go back to the lawless time that was the 90s.
That's why I'm just gonna go back, look at old stuff, and that's it.
Okay,
Not new stuff.
Hypothetically, if I were to purchase WrestleMania, would you watch it with me?
Yes.
You would watch it and not
I do not mind spending
wouldn't,
time with you.
You wouldn't shit on it the whole time.
He doesn't get it.
Kind of
He
get,
doesn't
into
get
it.
Yeah.
Okay, because if I'm gonna buy it, I'm not gonna watch it by myself and go, "Yay!"
No, I get it.
Cody Rhodes,
Well,
yay!
I won't know who people are, but I'll get
But
it
don't
down.
worry, you have me who's gonna tell you secondhand information.
So
the
this
entire
guy,
pay-per-view.
no lie, 2 months ago, and then start down the whole.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. So you know what, Frostnado, I'm most excited for the month of March. First of all, our 3-year anniversary. We'll find out something fun to do for that. But yes, WrestleMania. I'm ready. You know.
When I look through the anime,
Okay. All right.
there's nothing.
I saw you scrolling, Mal. Yeah. There's not. This
no, there's
season's
like
weird,
a heart
man.
cocktail colorful.
Huh?
That's what it's called. Heart cocktail colorful.
Okay.
March 21st. Eden Zero, which is season 2, which we haven't watched the first season.
Fairy Tale in Space, bro.
Oh wait, that's in April. These are in April.
Man, March ain't got shit going on.
Yuri Is My Job.
You're okay. All
I
right.
think that is, or is that one 4 too? Man, they're all
A little.
4.
That sounds like some lesbian stuff.
Yeah, there's not a lot on here, from what I was just seeing. Shu Wan Wan. That looks like a kid show.
Yeah. As far as anime goes, I haven't even been paying attention to what's going on this
But
season.
yeah, March. I know everything's coming in April when it comes to Demon Slayer and everything like that. I know Attack on Titan is coming out this March, and we're gonna pretty much lean into that after this question.
We have one more question to get to for our patron Q&A, and then I think that we'll get into that.
Am I looking forward to anything in March as of now? No, it's all in April. March, we have a new kind of episode we're doing, something that's new that's going to happen in March.
Oh yeah, we do have something that's
it's
definitely different for us.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to be coming to you guys a little bit down the road. But yeah, nothing I'm too interested in. March is kind of boring for me. So
you know what? Actually, what we're both most excited for is your continued love and support. Thank you, Frostnado, for that question.
That was perfect.
I know how to fucking move, bro.
I know how to fucking
I know how to move. All right. Well, God damn it, Discord. All right, we have one more question, and it is from one of our newest patrons. It is from Embium. And they ask, they say, I'm headed to Japan next month, and their question is if we end up going to Japan one day, which I think we'd love to, what would we do / eat?
I would go to a karaoke bar.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, I would go see Mount Fuji.
Okay. All right.
I would like to walk the haunted forest, not at night. I would never do that, but the suicide forest.
I'm not going to lie to you. The whatever fucking 13, 14-year-old edgy kid still resides in me. There's a piece of me that screams, do it. Go there. You're fine. As I know, I have a history of suicidal thoughts and mental
I wouldn't let you
health.
out of my sight.
I'm like,
there's going to be some kind of strange horror movie thing where you're right to my left, and as soon as I look over, you're gone. You're just gone, and then it gets dark. I hear a howl, and I'm like, oh my God.
It's somewhere in between the edgy 14-year-old and me and the part of me that there are two wolves inside of me. Edgy 14-year-old and guy who doesn't believe in ghosts, and they both want me to go into the Japanese suicide forest.
Prove them wrong.
I don't know why. I'm like, nothing good can come out of that. I can just...
Yeah, the one thing you're actually kind of terrified, even though you don't believe in that stuff, because you're like, it's the suicide forest.
Yeah, best case scenario, I walk in and see a forest, and then I walk out. That's the best case scenario. I don't fucking...
Yeah, so that
But it would be
Akihabara.
interesting to.
We obviously want to go to where
Yeah.
all the figure, like we could like imagine. There's so many things.
You're saying all these cool things like Mount Fuji, beautiful. The fucking, and I know it has a real name, and I apologize. I don't remember
Yeah,
the
sorry
actual
that
name of the forest,
yeah.
but they're going to the fucking famous forest. Yes, all very cool. If I went to Japan, I'd probably spend like my entire week, 2 weeks, however long I'm there in Akihabara.
You're telling me if I said I want to go to Mount Fuji, you wouldn't come with me?
I would love to, but also I know myself, and I would I would go.
You're gonna never go back probably to Japan if you do get to go one time. It's gonna be so hard, and you're gonna waste
If
it.
you were like, we're going to Mount Fuji, I'd go. If I was left up to my own
Oh, yeah,
devices,
yeah.
I would never.
No,
I would not venture out of Akihabara.
Yeah, I kind of have to motivate you. Even going to a concert to something that he loves and enjoys, he has a hard time to even go to the concert. But then once he's there, he's like, I should have never thought this.
Like,
So you need to push him,
I always have that feeling of like the day of a thing. I'm like, I don't really want to go. I don't.
Can we just cancel?
Yeah, I don't know. And I hate that about myself.
But then you know what? I know you have a good time. That's the important
true.
part. So, but yeah, all of those for sure. And I don't know why. And I'm usually nervous around people, not as bad as you. But like those small bars that you see like Connor and all that trash station where they kind of like 12 people can sit at, and you kind of are forced to kind of interact.
Yeah.
You can be with your other people and talking, but there's almost no way to avoid the casual conversation. It looks cozy. I don't feel like you're claustrophobic in by some of these bars.
Yeah.
Maybe I just like how it looks and how they present themselves. The bartenders are very professional.
I want to go to the JoJo's bar.
Oh, I
the
do
one
wanna
that
go to
everybody
the-
talks
and-
about, the one
yeah.
that's strictly serious and obviously
I looked
Trash
up
Taste talks about.
the whatever those books to make JoJo's type drinks.
Okay.
And I was so into it. I'm like, why am I into all this JoJo stuff? And I'm not that big of a fan, but it's
because
just
it's
style.
It's style. It's
Yeah.
fucking awesome, and like all the references are already references. So a JoJo's reference is already like a 3-4 layer reference sandwich.
That's like a
you
4,
put that in a
yeah.
cocktail or a shot. Imagine like a fucking themed JoJo shot. Like again, I just said I'm not a drinker, but I go there and I'm putting down like I'm drinking vodka. I'm getting sad.
And after that,
and
you're going
it's
to start
fine.
doing actual JoJo's poses.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a lot of fun, dude.
Yeah.
I think most of it, probably like at least half of what we do would be Akihabara, just because we're full blown weebs, and I admit that I'm not worried about it. I try not to be an asshole tourist who's like, oh my god, anime, ah ha ha ha, Japan.
Yeah.
But yeah, and as far as what we'd eat, I wouldn't eat. I'd starve to death.
Yeah, he would have the hardest time. I would try.
yeah.
I actually would try sushi.
I haven't.
I don't like sushi, but I would try it coming actually from Japan.
It'd be
I would-
different.
It was so it's so
Yeah.
different.
No, there's a lot of shit I believe you would try if
Ramen.
it was set in front of
Oh,
you.
I'd
Whereas
actually
me,
have ramen.
MBM, I don't know if you know. You might be, I mentioned it a while ago. My diet is that of a fucking picky 5-year-old. Might even be worse. I pretty much I eat pizza like most of the time. Fucking selective eating disorder. Most food is disgusting. Even food I like half the time is just like I don't like it.
Yeah,
So I need like very very comfort shit.
mostly sugary. Yeah,
And
sugary
yeah,
treats.
it's bad, man. And I've heard that pizzas in Japan are like $30 for a small. So I'd probably just die there, which is fine.
You would just be eating a lot of like the cookies and stuff
yeah,
like that. and
I'd
you'd
be
living off
snacking
of
for,
wafers.
Like they have good bread, man. Like
They
I
do.
fuck with some bread. I fuck with lots of different
Would you
kinds
eat one of those
bread.
rice balls
I don't know.
from all the things we've watched? You know the ones with
you mean
the
a jelly donut?
Is
If you
that a
told
jel-
me, no. It's in Pokemon because they localized everything. So
Oh,
Brock
yeah.
made an onigiri, and he's like, my world famous jelly donuts.
Okay, that's a lie.
I thought it
It's
was
not a jelly donut.
I really thought they were jelly donuts.
I did too,
for a
but now
long
you
time.
said that, and
No,
I knew
yeah.
as I got older, I'm like, no, that's not a jelly donut. But when
Yeah.
you said it, I'm like, no, it's not a jelly donut.
Yeah,
Don't
wait,
fall
fuck-
for it.
Don't fucking lie to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would. Man, that would be tough for me.
But
to
we'd
eat.
also have to know
You
the
would
language.
have you guys would you my partner your partner you would have such a good time with
Mm.
the food in Japan, like
Oh, yeah.
everything that like Japanese people, like people who live in Japan, say about the food. It sounds like so cool, and I'm sitting here like all of that sounds fucking disgusting.
Yeah, and any
to me.
kind of anime or like, I don't think any of the food looks amazing. And like everyone talks, like other podcasts are like, wow, the food would look so delicious even in the anime.
Yeah,
I think the same thing, and you're like, I don't like it.
I like I like watching bread being pulled apart. That's always cool. So, Embium, let us know, what do you do when you go to Japan? But when you get back, like tell us.
Yeah,
Give us
send pictures. You're-
Send
pictures.
Obviously, you're in the Discord. Like, post shit up, dude. Like, let us know. That's really cool, and we can all live vicariously through you for a little bit.
Mhm.
All right, that is going to wrap up this month's patron Q&A. If you would like to get in on next month's patron Q&A and further patron Q&As, subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/Anime Brothers Podcast. For $1 a month, you're there, baby.
All right. So, is it time to catch up, or is it time to get to the rant that we all
All right,
want
yeah,
to?
this is a free for all now.
Free for all. I love
Whatever you got, bring it to the table. And I know we're a couple weeks late on this, but I didn't hear anybody talk about this.
it. And I just found
Well,
out.
you just found out today.
well,
I found
how,
out a
like
couple
30
days
minutes
ago.
ago, 45 minutes ago.
If that.
I
Fuck.
can't believe I'm so out of touch sometimes. I'm actually probably on social media more than you just to check on things.
You are way more in touch about shit than
But
me.
the problem is, I didn't know that.
I follow specific subreddits, and I don't fucking
Yeah, you go down the
veer
rabbit
out
hole.
of-
Okay, it has to do with
Yeah,
wrestling. I keep going.
I
you
don't
know?
go out of
Yeah,
my
yeah.
spheres, man, very
Yeah.
often. You're more in tune with like the pop culture shit. Anyway,
Anyway,
we had a fucking episode on asking, is Attack on Titan ruining its legacy? And they're doing it again. Bro, why couldn't they have just said this? What? If you haven't heard, Attack on Titan is premiering a 1-hour special in March. And then the rest of the first part of
of the
final
final part
of the
part
final
3.
season.
Yeah, of the final season. Yeah,
will air at some point this year.
at some point
Later this year. That's the information we've been given.
And yet, you know what? That 1 hour special will win Anime of the Year for 2023.
Yeah, it probably will. You're probably fucking right.
I just angered him so
Look,
much.
I don't know
if
if-
you were watching, you know.
Whatever rant I go on, we
Yeah.
have an entire episode. Go back and listen to it. It's not very old.
It was great because it's great content to talk about it because Attack on Titan is literally going to be so divisive. Divisive. when all
they're
those
just
stuff.
being fucking weird, man. I don't understand why. I continue to ask, can they just be upfront with us? 1 hour special, if they didn't have all this bullshit going on, people are fucking hyped. You mean we get early Attack on Titan? Oh my god. 1 hour special when we've been told Attack on Titan, first part of the final final season, is gonna release in March. Everybody's like, hype.
Oh,
Let's go.
yeah, it's right around the corner.
Now it's like they're just fucking lying to us. Because if they consider a 1 hour special it starting its release, nobody else does. Somebody needs to tell Mappa that that's not what starting a release means. We're going to continue. We're going to go on.
Or
How-
at least go to like 6 episodes or 12 episodes
Yeah.
if you're cutting it in half. You're
no,
literally
this
doing
is releasing.
one
one thing,
episode,
one
which is
single-
like maybe 3 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, well, 1 hour special. Yeah,
It's going to be less than an hour because of ads or whatever. I don't think, the opening and the ED, it's probably not going to be a complete hour.
probably not.
We know that.
but this all comes from like places of hurt because I want
Places
to be.
of hurt.
Oh, I want to be hyped. I want to be excited. Fucking right, dude. Attack on Titan, dude. Like we get an hour long special. Like that's borderline a movie of
Yeah.
Attack on Titan, and it's gonna be canon. Well, I don't want to get ahead of myself because as far as we know, it could be one of those bullshit. We're gonna. What am I gonna say? Like we're gonna recap a bunch of stuff and add like maybe 10 minutes of new stuff, and if they do that. We riot. I
riot.
swear to God, we riot if they do that.
Now, no lie, because I read the manga. I'm not trying to brag. I'm just being
Hey,
honest.
no.
I for once feel above
No, tell us how
everything.
big your dick is, JD, please.
I'm thinking about it right now that I hope they don't, but they could be trying to fit all of Volume 33 in that one special because at the end of Volume 33, it's like it would be the biggest cliffhanger to be like, and here comes the ending of Attack on Titan. It would fit perfectly to what they're trying to do here because pretty much all of Volume 34 is, I can't say, but things happen.
Okay, but it's like one.
The big operation happens. You know what
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
saying? So I'm just like, but if you do that, that's like putting 3 episodes to fit a whole volume. No, you can't do that. But that's all my mind's going to because
Yeah.
I can't believe it. But it makes sense. So I'm kind of thinking but no, I just got given this information. I don't know how I didn't know this. I'm sure I was scrolling through
Nobody-
Twitter.
I had no
I saw
idea.
the announcement. I saw Attack. I'm like, oh, that's coming soon. And then I scrolled more, and then I didn't realize it said only 1 hour special.
Yeah.
So
No, shout out to Strictly Series. If we don't shout them out once an episode, our podcast studio will burn down. That's a fact. So, but for real, like they're the ones who broke the news.
and they
It
weren't
was
happy
on-
about it either.
Yeah, it was on their Discord, and like I made the joke, but you're fucking with people's livelihoods now, Attack on Titan. You're taking food out of Courtney and Carl's mouths, and that's something I won't fucking have. Okay, first of all, they like us. We're gonna do weekly Attack
gonna
on
do
Titan. By the
weekly
way,
episodes.
I don't know if we said it. We are going to be doing weekly Attack on Titan
But
episodes.
this time it's going to be a 1 episode.
no, I
about
don't.
it.
We're not. No, they don't get this.
What?
Maybe they
We're gonna
will,
have
but I'm
to.
pissed about it. Okay, but when it starts like airing, like yeah, we're gonna. It's the finale. Like hopefully we're gonna cover it weekly. Hopefully you guys are down for that. If not, I'm sorry, but it's just whatever.
It's happening.
But they were gonna do the same thing, and then they were like, well, what are we gonna do? We're gonna like do one episode and then wait and then do the other stuff, and like they have some personal life things going on, so this might actually work. This might
Better.
actually benefit them.
right.
But it's just like Jesus Christ. It's so frustrating in every facet, like not just as a fan, but as somebody who's trying to cover this as a pseudo critic. We want to have the hype built, not just for Attack on Titan, but shit,
Yeah.
man. Like I'd be lying if we would both be lying if we said like we do the Attack on Titan episodes, one, because we love Attack on Titan and
Yeah.
it's a very good show, but two, because it's fucking popular and people want to listen to people
They
covering
want to hear
Attack on
more
Titan.
about it. Yeah, absolutely.
And we get more eyes on the podcast. You know what I mean? By doing that shit, and now it's again, you're taking food out of motherfuckers' mouths. Attack on Titan.
It's not good. It's not good at all. And also the problem for me is that I want to defend it. It was on
And
my
it's
it was
getting
on my
harder.
3x my 3x3 in the last episode, and then this gets announced. Maybe I shouldn't have put it on there. If I would have known, I would have been like, "Fuck you," you know.
You don't
Um,
get my 3x3.
You don't get my vote, okay? You screwed up. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and revote for the Crunchyroll Anime Awards just to fuck this.
yeah.
I don't know. Do you have anything else to say? Because if I let myself talk any longer, it'll be rehashing old bullshit.
No, it's I feel your pain. Trust me, I can't get as mad as you because I want it to be perfect and follow everything the manga does.
Yeah.
But then when I hear this kind of news, I get nervous. I'm like, oh, well, this would be a perfect place after that special to be like, and here comes the rest in like 4 months or 5 months or whatever they want to do.
They
They go all the way to winter.
I wish they'd at least tell us,
Well,
when.
no, they can't let you know because if you see it's 3 or 4 months, someone may not even watch the special. They may be like, "Fuck you, we're gonna wait till it comes out and all bin." I don't know. I'm
Mappa
just saying.
thinks they're fucking like 1970s World Wrestling Federation, where it's like people cannot know that real people.
How did I
work
know
on
you're gonna
this
turn that
behind
into a wrestling?
Because it's what I'm obsessed with.
I got you.
I mean, that was a safe bet.
But yeah, I'm not happy. I'm not
It's
happy.
frustrating, and it's just one more. Like we joked, kind of on the episode. It's like they won't do this again.
They
right?
wouldn't. They wouldn't dare.
They wouldn't. No, I mean, and now we're gonna finish Attack on Titan in like 2028, and we're all just gonna be happy with it. We're gonna be force fed Attack on Titans by our fucking with our
Like
babas.
I said, it's
and-
gonna win Anime of the Year with only that
Of course
special.
it is.
You guys don't understand. It's gonna happen, and all the
It's gonna be
Aaron
a-
haters in the world are gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
It's gonna be a completely CGI'd 100% special. It's gonna look terrible, and it's gonna win best animation for fucking unless Demon Slayer puts out a season. And in that case,
Yeah.
all bets are off.
All bets are off.
Oh
yeah,
man,
but that's probably the worst news we've gotten.
that's
On the anime sphere, we're kind of closed off to it right now. Our anime lulls have taken over.
yeah. It just
And is Attack on Titan souring that right now?
I mean, it's giving me something to yell about, which is fun.
Yeah.
It really is. No, I don't know, man. Anime, it's one of those things where it's like it's hard. It's been harder to press the play button. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get maybe it has to do with like shit going on, like you're stuck inside. Not stuck inside because we could go outside. It's just
You
it's
could,
fucking
yeah.
cold out. I don't like outside.
Up where
cold
we're at, it's way
activities.
too cold. It's way too cold.
Yeah, but you'd think this is a great time to just watch a bunch of anime. Like JD's been clowning on me for a couple weeks, but
Oh.
I'm enjoying summertime rendering when I'm watching it. And
Yeah.
when do I want to just sit down and watch it though? Like
Because after like an hour,
I keep finding these new interests where I'm like, oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to do this new thing. I want to do this new thing. And like, it really is astounding to me that I've committed to having such a like a narrow focused interest that is anime and like kept on it for so long.
right?
Because even before the podcast, I watched a lot of it, not nearly as much since we've started, but
Right, yeah.
I watched probably like 30 anime before the podcast in like a year or two span.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, I'd watch like 6 episodes of a show, wait like a month, and then finish it, and then watch the next 6 episodes. And something about the podcast, I feel like I can't do that because most of the
You
time
need to watch more, yeah.
and then there's that like, well, if I watch this, we got to review it, or I got to talk about it. And like, what if we watch something that sucks, or what if we watch something that just is fine but doesn't like spark talking points, you know?
That's something I've been thinking about, and just going off the cusp here. But imagine if you just start an anime, you decide to start it, and we just watch an episode or two. We don't like it. We just talk about it, about how we don't like it. That's almost what you have to do at this point because, like you said, you need to almost find that perfect anime to fully commit your whole time to review about. Because some of them are just a pain to get through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like some of them are just hard to review as like as a critic or whatever the fuck we are, or whatever this is, to give like true opinions about. Like that's why I didn't finish Urusei Yatsura. Because like I could have put it on and I could have just enjoyed it and whatever, and it would have been a fun gag manga or whatever. But then I'm like, then I'm taking time away from something else that I could be talking about and reviewing and giving like detailed thoughts and feelings, you know? Like that's why like something like Ava is so fun, and I always love because it even if like it hate it, it breeds fucking discussion.
Thought-provoking discussion, yeah.
It has talking points weaved in and out of it. I mean, it's a what 96? It's almost 30 years old.
1995, I believe.
And people, I mean, it's been criticized to death, but you can still find a new angle to make a YouTube video about Neon Genesis Evangelion, this, you know, the theming of this, and it's all valid. But then I don't know. It's weird. And I guess really I'm just bitching. It's like, oh, I got to do fucking anime podcasts and I like to do, oh, my life sucks. But like all I want to do now, if I'm being honest with everybody, it's seeped through. All I want to do now is talk about fucking professional wrestling. And when I have my mind on something, when I'm fixated on something.
Yes, the quarterly fix. I guess what I call it.
Doing other things is not in my fucking game plan.
Right.
I stopped playing Monster Hunter. And I love Monster Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't played it in like a month. Do you know why?
Because of wrestling?
Because of Stellaris, first of all, because I
Okay.
got really into playing Stellaris and I thought, well, this is fun. Monster Hunter is really fun. But I could be doing something that I could sink 8 hours into and forget I'm a fucking human being.
Ooh.
And then it went right to wrestling, where it's like, this is another thing I can sink 8 hours into and forget I'm a human being.
Yeah.
And then anime has been that and continues to come back into my life and be that part of it, especially when you get a good one. Like last season was fucking really good. You know, like watching Bocchi the Rock, Chainsaw Man, I was right into it and fully immersed.
Yeah, it was at the end of the year too, so it was like perfect timing when it was getting colder.
And it's just like, I don't know, maybe this is there's a lot of complaining, really. I mean, I'd like to talk about other nerdy shit. I wish.
As of right now, Mr. Earthworm is getting involved in the wrestling, and that's all you can think about.
I don't want to say I'm burnt out with anime because I'm not. Like I still enjoy.
Yeah.
But I'm not feeling the desire and the drive. I guess is really the drive to watch anime,
to hit the play button,
to fucking go out of my way and say, let's find a new good anime.
Mm-hmm.
No, my drive right now is really all focused on wrestling.
Right.
And we've mentioned it in the past. Like we'd love to do a more general nerd podcast, I guess. Like obviously anime is great and we've gotten 3 years in, doing just anime. But shit, man, sometimes like I'm sure recently with Hogwarts, I'm sure you'd love to go on a 45-minute fucking talk about all the shit that you've seen in fucking Hogwarts Legacy.
Pretty much.
And there is a reality to podcasting to where most people don't. This isn't everybody. We have some listeners that genuinely care about who we are as people, and that means the fucking world to me, and they just want to hear our thoughts and opinions about stuff.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. But like new people that are going to potentially click on the episode, they're not, if we're the Anime Brothers and all our 150 episodes are about anime and then we do a video game, they might not give a shit about that.
Yeah.
So it feels like we're putting, if we wanted to go more broad discussion, it feels like we're putting,
You're pushing out a certain other kind of
we're putting a lot of risk
topic,
too. Yeah. Like we might be alienating some people who are really only here for anime discussions. We might be gaining new people, but I mean, shit, the thing might blow up in our face. Maybe people don't give a fuck about us and only care about our anime.
Yeah, but it's kind of, I like the idea of finding something interesting that you wouldn't even think about possibly, but you find it interesting going down the deep web, which is the wrestling kind of industry. And then me, I've gone down some deep dark depths with certain topics when I was not, now I'm in Hogwarts, but I'm talking about like other stuff,
Sure.
like video game lore. I got into I was starting to get into Elden Ring lore for a while when we were doing that, you know.
And I would have loved for you to explain.
But it came and went, you know, and now
Yeah.
it's like I can't just talk about that right now. I got to play it through it, you know. But
And like this is kind of, it might come off as me being a little salty, so I apologize. I don't,
oh boy,
I don't
bring
really
the
mean
salt.
it. I don't mean it to be this way, but there's a reality to podcasting to where if you want to have this broad discussion, like we can talk about anything, variety show type podcast, you have to have a following. You have to have an audience that's going to follow you to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just look at for me, my YouTube shorts, the algorithm is so much like video podcast of just like Bobby Lee, fucking Joe Rogan,
Yep.
and Pat McAfee, and so many.
Conan O'Brien has his
Conan
own one.
O'Brien, yep.
Yeah.
And like, I'll admit, there's a piece of me that's like, well, fuck you guys, because like you're already famous and you're just coming into this medium that we've been working hard in and trying, but I don't let that come to the surface very often because I know it's just petty jealousy.
Yeah. Don't let it get you.
But there is a reality. Like if we just wanted, like I'm worried that this episode might not do as well as it probably won't do
And
as
if
well.
you're still here,
And if you're still here, thank you so much. But there is a reality to not if you just want to come on and just talk bullshit with your friends, like you better be really, really entertaining and really good at marketing.
have crazy ass stories.
Yeah, just have crazy stories and be really good at marketing, social media especially, which we are not great at. We don't understand.
I'm
not
shaking my head no.
We're not good at shameless self-promoting like that. We don't have that Logan Paul gene in us that we can just fucking get our name out there.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, like I feel weird saying that. Like, but that you watch any video on how to be a YouTuber and they tell you like you gotta be constant with that stuff. Even if it doesn't work for someone like us, it might work for other people.
No, it's like a business kind of thing.
So I don't know. I guess I've been feeling a little jaded. Like it's weird too because we're kind of entering this new phase in the podcast. We're getting on video now, and maybe that's playing.
And we're getting into our third year where we kind of can like try something out for the year, you know, try something new for the next year of the podcast.
And maybe that's kind of where this stems from. It's like we're in a transitional period with the podcast, and it feels like, well, I know, I'll be honest, I don't know that I want to be pigeonholed into just doing anime for another 3 years, another 5, 6,
you wanted
10
to
years.
broaden it a little bit more.
I would like to, and good on anime podcasts like our friends at Anime Summit. They've branched out a couple of times, but fuck, 99% of their content for 7 years now?
Yeah.
Going on 8 maybe? I don't know. It's been a long time. It's been all anime related, you know? Good on them, and that's amazing, and Jesus fucking Christ. And they don't sound like obviously they've gone through bouts of burnout.
No, anyone does. I mean, there's times that, we've all needed a little time off the podcast going through things in the real world, so you got to take a break.
And then there's like Anime Addicts Anonymous, which I don't listen to personally, but I do respect as a fellow podcast because they've been, again, doing this for almost a decade and talking about just anime. It's like, holy fuck, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But not to sound too much like Joey from Trash Taste, but like, I don't know that I want to go back to when anime was like, less of a job and more fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you know what? That's what you're saying. I'm hearing you.
And I know you felt that way, and I know we've gone through ebbs and flows of it feeling this way, and maybe I'm just in an ebb or a flow or whatever. Maybe I'm just at a peak of like, man, I'm just not feeling it, but then I look back and I feel like I've been feeling this for a long time.
Yeah.
And it sucks, man. Like I watched Hajime no Ippo, and the fact that I did that was like weird to me and
Yeah.
took me a while, but I had a great time. But I
Mhm.
didn't review it on the podcast. Like, so there's still a piece of me that feels like, man, I should probably get somebody on and talk about Hajime no Ippo.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
Well, here's my thing, because this is leading
Talk
on
to
to
me.
you've been going on for it quite a bit, and which I
Yeah.
like you coming out and saying this, because this is the whole point of this episode. We're getting it out there, possibly broadening our horizon here. So that's also just for any listeners that it may be coming your way. But what you're saying right there about how you watch Hajime no Ippo, and you were able to watch it kind of at your pace,
Yeah.
do things like get things done while doing it,
Yep.
and you enjoyed it just as much. I'm starting to get that vibe with Monster.
Okay.
Like you see 74 episodes and you think, well, for the podcast, I got to binge it
yeah.
so that we can talk about it. But it's like sometimes watching 3 episodes a day, where when I can fit it into my schedule or into my crazy days,
Yeah.
I go from nights to day shift.
Yeah,
So
your
my
schedule's
sleeping
fucked.
pattern's always screwed up. So I'm sitting there and I watch 3 episodes, ends on a really good cliffhanger. All right, I'll maybe watch it tomorrow at night.
Yeah.
But I don't need to watch 6 episodes tonight. Maybe I do 6 episodes in 3 days. But for some reason, I feel like I retain it a little bit more. Like I always say, when we did our weekly Attack on Titan episode and we
yeah.
were talking about it,
when you have a whole episode to break down,
I was
an
able to
entire
really
episode.
suck it more in, because I
Yeah.
had to then immediately discuss it with you.
Yep.
And it actually made the conversations great, and also just, I don't know, maybe just not as dumb because I had it all fresh in the mind. Maybe, I'm the simple man. So when I'm doing Monster Hunter, I'm not Monster Hunter, Monster the anime. I've watched 15 episodes now, and I've watched about 3 every day or every other day.
Yeah.
I know what's going on. It's crazy. I was wrong about it being able to extend 74.
Oh, I knew you would
The
be.
web started opening up, and you realize this center was just a small piece of
Yeah.
the puzzle. I'm like, oh, okay. But I like it better when I don't have to, like you said, consider it as like a job. I
Mhm.
gotta fucking binge. I kind of want to take it all in.
Yep.
Pick the good anime that I really want to spend my time on.
And when you're not, like, if you've watched
Yeah.
4 episodes and you're like, all right, I'm good, I'm satisfied.
Or it's like, oh, I really want to keep going.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's how I've watched anime in 2 days. a
Which
day.
that's never a bad thing for the podcast
that-
usually.
yeah.
But there are some times where, and granted, I do a lot to myself. I'm, habitual procrastinator. Plenty of times where I'm like, man, I watched 5 episodes. That's good. But I have 7 more that I have to watch by this time, so I guess I'll watch 1 more, and then I'm like not super invested in that last episode, or I'm like I'm in the
You're
back
ready
of my
to
head,
get going. Ready
I'm like
to head
I
out.
want to do
Yeah.
something different, or I can't wait. And nothing's worse than watching something that, by all rights, you should enjoy. You are enjoying, but having that voice in the back of your head going, "Can't wait until this is over. Can't wait until
You
this
can
is
go
over,
do what you wanna
so
do
we can
next."
go do other stuff." And
Yeah.
I'm like, God, why is that like that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's
I
a
don't.
nagging thing in the brain.
Yeah, I don't want this to be a whole episode of us complaining about having an anime podcast that people listen to.
It's almost like a confession. This is our confession video.
Yeah, I like being open and honest with our listeners, and I'm a pretty sensitive, emotional guy, so like these things go through my head. I feel these feelings, and I don't want to just
The crazy thing is I've been thinking this for time to here and there.
yeah, we all
But I don't let it out.
No,
you let it out
we-
and
we
drive
t-
it for me.
we talk in private, you know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
of course.
And yeah, like I said, we ran out of ideas, so we figured just let's be open and candid, and let's just
And
drop
talk
our
about the
hearts on
possible
table.
directions of things.
So I guess all right, fuck it. How's Monster going? Let's talk about some anime here. How are you enjoying Monster so far?
Well, I don't want to really give things away because you're going to be watching it.
Is
but
it that like well weaved to where like I can get a legit spoiler? You think something would
Probably.
ruin it for me in episode 15?
Okay, I'm getting Tarantino vibes.
Okay, all right.
Of
Yeah, talk about the feelings you're getting. You don't have
give
to
me
talk
the
about
feelings.
like
Okay, well, I'm getting the Tarantino vibes just because basically, I don't know for sure, but there's a lot of scenes where you're seeing Tenma, which is Dr. Tenma is the main character of the
Okay.
show, the one you see on the front.
Yep.
And there's like there's ones where he looks more grubby and he has like facial hair, and there's ones where he has his clean cut hair still, and he has the same jacket he had maybe 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So it doesn't ever tell you a date. It's like says chapter 15. But then these characters get woven in and they eventually meet up with Tenma, or someone that he was with 2 episodes ago is gone but comes back 6 episodes later.
Okay.
And it's been like several months. And you feel like it would confuse you, but like Tarantino, you're able to pick it up slowly and be like, all right, it's starting. I'm starting to figure it
The
out
way
as I'm
it's
watching.
framed.
Maybe
like,
because it's in Japanese, it's old fashioned, so there's not a lot of motion going on. It's more of like you sit, it's grounded.
yeah.
It's not a
Yeah.
shonen battle where things are gonna flop around, so you want to
Yeah,
watch the
no,
fight,
yeah.
but the people are talking. It's more of like sitting and talking,
Sure,
discussing
yeah.
things. There's characters like there's a detective that's hunting, the person, and when he's, talking to someone, he's typing
Okay.
just like this in the air. And he does it for a couple episodes, doesn't tell you about it. All of a sudden, someone asks him, "Why do you do that?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm doing an imaginary typewriter. If I type it out, I immediately have it into my brain."
Interesting.
So he's sitting there, and
Okay.
sometimes he'll be sitting down, he'll be tapping his leg. So right there, that's so interesting. A detective, it's kind of like you could think of Ellen Light. You make the person hunting the other person interesting, and immediately you're like, "Oh, all right."
Sure.
So, and this detective is like so good at his job, but he pretty much is neglecting his wife, neglecting his daughter. And it's like he doesn't give a shit. He cares about his job. And it's like that's one character, and there's a lot of characters.
Okay. So it's very character driven. It sounds like.
So far. And then the plot goes from, like we said in for the first episode, he saves someone that kills people, but then it's just not simply a kid that kills people. There's like something more to that. And that's what I mean. So I really I like it all. It's just a good feeling, and I feel that Tarantino type of shit coming from it.
Yep.
And I really like the main character, and I feel like it's a real deep dive into psychology a little bit.
Okay.
Which is something
I'm down for that.
it says psychology, thriller, and all that stuff. It's crime, obviously, but I think you're really gonna like it.
I think I am too. Again, it's
wanted
about
to watch
sitting down and pressing play. But I've had Monster on. It's been a very high on the plan to watch list for a long time.
Yeah, Danny from Anime Summit's actually starting it at the same time.
okay.
So I think a lot of people saw that it had the 74 episodes up.
Yeah.
Immediately start clicking. The soundtrack is phenomenal.
It's one of those anime that
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever met or heard anybody, even on the internet, which is wild, but that's watched the whole fucking thing that said it was legitimately bad.
Mm-hmm.
How fucking rare is that? That's even Chainsaw
I want
Man,
to talk
shit
about
like
scenes.
that.
I want to talk about scenes because I'd be giving things
I'm
away,
not- I mean,
but it's spoiling it for others.
I guess that's fair. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we
Okay,
don't wanna-
well, I mean, I can say one
I mean,
spoiler else. Cause,
Can you do it without like being super specific? Like this character did this, or like?
Well, it's just a character arc for Tenma, the main.
Okay,
main
all right.
character.
Skip ahead a couple minutes. If anybody, I'm okay. If anybody out there doesn't vary against anything spoilery for Monster, just skip ahead a couple.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see you on the other side.
See you on the other side. So essentially, I didn't say so. Basically,
Essentially, is another one of yours too.
damn it.
Sorry, we've all got our starters.
So Dr. Tenma at some point in the show is realizing he's got to be the one that stops his own monster, his own creation, essentially by not creating but saving. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
all right.
Which is in and itself kind of crazy. It's a cool story kind of idea.
Like Frankenstein's got to kill his own monster type.
Yeah,
thing.
and he's a doctor that only cares about saving lives, but his goal is like, I'm gonna save everyone else's lives by taking one life.
okay.
And that's this character, and that's cool.
Yeah.
And then you see him go from a doctor to like having to learn how to handle a gun,
Okay.
how to get in shape, and learn from some guy like a military instructor. And it's a training bit that's better than most shonen training bits because it has to
it's
do
even
with
got a training arc.
it
That's
has
pretty
like
fucking sweet.
John Wick level of like, all right, draw, and
Yeah.
then he's like, you're 2 seconds off your time, do it again, and it just shows an everyday guy learning to pretty much become a marksman. Oh, it's just really good. Like
That sounds cool.
It's a 2004. It's like directed well. It's like I don't know. It's really, but that's what I mean. That's just a one episode, and I'll tell you, I got more out of that one episode than some 12 episoders I watched.
Sure. That's
amazing.
Call Monster a masterpiece for a reason, man.
Yeah.
Like people love this fucking show.
So by all means, when you're done summertime rendering and you don't want to be forced to, you should really watch it.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of I do want to watch it, and this is kind of a step into my personal life. I've been subconsciously kind of ignoring my partner. Not really like actively, but I've been spending. I have 2 rooms at my house that I hang out in. I have my bedroom and the room that my PC's in that I do all my home recording in that I need to. And I've been spending a lot of time in the PC room, like 90% of my time at home,
'Cause all that
until I'm ready
gaming
to go
and
to
shit.
bed. I got the games. I can do whatever I want. I can fucking smoke my vape. I can smoke weed. Like I don't have to worry about it. And because in my other room I have a bird, and little birdie can't have smoke in his sinuses. So I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna hurt him because I want to be a dipshit.
Right.
But lately, I've just been spending almost no time in there. So I've been spending less time with my partner, no time with my bird. So maybe I know she really likes the true crime type stuff. She likes psychological thrillers. This is probably an anime I'm gonna hopefully get her to watch with me, and
Yeah.
hopefully I'm hoping that
Hopefully the sub doesn't throw her off too much because it's no dub.
that's something I'm fucking worried about.
But
She
Netflix-
hates reading, but I'm wondering if I can like put it on when she's in the room, and maybe she'll like start, because with summertime rendering, I've been watching the dub, and she does this thing where she'll be in the room and I'll put something on and I'll notice her like looking up at it and being like, what's happening here? Oh man, especially with summertime rendering, there's some wild shit going on, you know?
Yeah.
So she's looking up like, what the fuck are you watching? And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's wild. So yeah, that sucks though that it only has there's gotta be a dub out there. It's been
Well,
out-
just Netflix is easy for me to consume. It's the easiest app I can use in my
No,
household.
sure, I feel
has
you.
the skip intro button, has the play the next episode
yeah,
button.
Netflix
It just
is solid.
it's made to keep binging. So
I wonder if they're gonna do
yeah.
like an Evangelion thing where they do their own dub, which is weird. I don't know why.
Well, also, like I said, there's not a lot going on at times. I'm not, 74 episodes. I forgot what studio did it, but maybe it's just old, but
Yeah.
2004. But it's like they take the time to kind of write the dialogue out better, set the scene, get the plot going. But it's not like a lot of moving parts where you have to like constantly look up, because that's the hard part is
Yeah.
looking up and trying to see what's going on.
That's a big reason why I've gravitated toward dubs more, is because you do.
Yeah.
My eyes are on the bottom.
And I
of the
get it for
screen.
like fighting anime
Yeah.
because it's like I want to see what's going on, but sometimes when it's like talking, but you want to get that beautiful performance
Oh,
from
yeah.
the Japanese original voice actors that know how to show the emotion for their anime. It's theirs. I mean, you can get any dubber, but are they truly gonna understand as much as the original cast that's like kind of originally going through the whole process at that time? Dubbers need like a couple weeks. Even back then, we're like months behind.
Yeah.
Just feels a little different. So
Yeah, no, I feel you, dog. I feel you. All right, so I got something I want to ask you. Because you actually brought it up, and I wasn't thinking about it until now. What would is there ever going to come a day where you watch Death Note for whatever reason? Because I know you know the events of it, but the things you're saying about like the character work in Monster, it remind you, even you brought up
you want to know the difference? I could tell you right now.
there probably
Yeah.
is a difference, but
Yes.
I guess what I'm getting at is like, yes, the plot points are important in Death Note, but the things that I took away from Death Note are how L is such a unique character in so many specific ways that like there are no characters in media that I can say like that are like L, and if they are, then they're a shit fucking character. He's one of the only like of his archetype that I've ever seen that's really good.
Everything shown about him makes me believe I really like him. I like the character already. I haven't even watched it.
And I know you know about Light, but to actually see him, the individual moments of his decision making, and see where he kind of picks and chooses when he's going to be good and when goodness is less important than his own safety type shit, and expect like the animation, the facial expressions, all that shit. I think it's legitimately worth watching, even if you read the fucking Spark Notes for it. But is there a day that will come where you'll watch it? And I know you wanted to tell me the difference between Monster in this. So what's the difference, and when will you watch Death Note?
Okay, the difference is I know how Death Note ends,
Okay.
and I don't know how Monster ends. And
I
that's
guess
the
that's fair.
simplest term. I don't think anyone understands is I know my buddy Devin was once in a while, like he gets spoilers on TikTok for like events in Naruto, and he said it doesn't bother him. He still likes watching it. And
Yeah.
I said, I'm not wired like that. If you spoil it and I know how it's going to end, and endings are the biggest thing for me, and how like, oh, after certain characters die, they try to keep it going and it just wasn't it. I already have that sour taste of like, why would I spend all this time going through something I know, and I already can sound like I don't like that.
Okay.
So as many of the good things there are, the amount of praise, it's kind of like hearing everyone say how good Cowboy Bebop is, yet you haven't watched it. You probably know how it ends, and you still won't watch it, because you know.
I do know how it ends, but to be
There
fair,
you go.
Well,
I'm just
okay.
saying that's like a 10 out of 10 anime for a
True.
lot of people in this world, and I gave it a 7, and I actually watched it, so that's kind of why, you know.
I get that.
If I would have got spoiled Cowboy Bebop, I didn't know how it ended. I didn't know how anything happened in Cowboy Bebop because I watched it so young,
Yeah.
and then I watched it again. So
It's funny. I think it's interesting. This is kind of a branch off of this topic, but how different people react to spoilers.
yeah, some people are fine.
For me, spoilers will generally make me more interested in watching.
Yeah,
an
because you know
anime.
what happens with Makima in fucking Chainsaw
And
Man.
now
like,
I'm
fuck
fucking
you.
right down.
And
like,
I'm sitting there like, if I would have known, I wouldn't. Like, my buddy Devin doesn't want to watch Chainsaw because he got spoiled that shit, and he's like, why watch it?
but it's
See, so it didn't bother him with Naruto, but
Oh
it bothered him
my
with this. See
God,
how
it's
it affects
so-
everybody differently.
See, I like that. Like, it's the second watch through type feeling where it's like, oh, I know what's gonna happen here.
Yeah, but the funny thing is you would have picked her as your waifu if you didn't know what had happened.
No,
and I
even-
stand by
Even
that.
when I read the manga, and she's, at least in the few chapters that I read, she's less obviously manipulative in the manga. At least that's how I read her. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I didn't. She's what she. Even then, I was like, this. I didn't think she was like a bad person who's gonna squish people and make them go poof, which she does. That's not even a spoiler. That's in the fucking
she
anime.
makes him go poof.
She make him go pop.
Yeah.
But I could tell like there's something weird going on with this bitch. But one of the examples I say is when Anime Summit recently they had Danny review what the fuck School Days,
Yeah.
and that's a very divisive anime.
I
you
know how that goes.
Yeah. When I found out how that ended, I was sitting there like, shit, dog, I gotta go watch School Days right the fuck now.
Did you do it?
No. But before that, I was like, I'd like to check out School Days to find out why it's so like controversial. When I found out the actual edgy ass ending to that, I was like, oh my God, that sounds so fucking cool. Like, and again, that's that the other wolf inside of me, the edgy 14-year-old's like, yes.
See, but let me tell you, when I heard it and I got kind of spoiled through it and all that stuff, I did some heavy dive research in the whole playing out of that, anime, and then it being
The visual novel.
visual
Yep.
novel and the choices and all that. I was like, oh, that's really interesting. All right, I don't need to watch it. I got my fill. I got into it
but
see what I mean? That's the problem with it. Now, if you like, we have this segment, and once in a while we'll bring it back. I even suggested forced recommendation.
Yes.
If you looked at me and you were like, "You're gonna do it," I could get mad at you, but you have your choice. You're
Sure.
allowed to.
Trust me,
know?
if there was any other anime that was 39 episodes,
I'm sure I could find you one. You may have to watch a lot of Sword
you
Art
gotta
Online,
watch
but yeah,
Cowboy Bebop and this anime.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I'd make you watch. But
I have no fucking idea.
I know there are some things that I wanted you to like. I'd really want you to watch Guardian of the Spirit, but it's only 12 episodes, so that I gotta find something else. And you'll actually like Guardian of the Spirit like a lot.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
maybe
that's
not as
fair.
much as me, but you'll
Yeah.
like it. But yeah. So
It's spoilers are weird though, man, because like
can't do it.
there are times where I've gone down that rabbit hole that you've said. Okay, I'm gonna learn everything about this before I actually watch it, and then,
And then I got
actually-
my fill.
But then I actually watched the show, and there have been multiple times where I'm like, this is nothing like everybody said it was. Or like, this is nothing how I expected. So JoJo's Part 7, for example. I knew all the like ridiculous spoilers, like Dio's a raptor, Jesus Christ is there, all this weird shit. And I know it's there, and I'm like, oh, this is the part where Dio's a raptor. Okay, cool. But even then, it's still so cool to be like, wow, it didn't go down at all how I thought it was gonna go down. I don't know. It's I guess we're just on two opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to
Yeah.
spoilers. I will say it has a lot to do with you being in the MCU fanboy that you are, especially when Phase 3 was like happening and spoilers were like a fightable offense.
Doctor Strange saw 14 million different scenarios, and he never spoiled who was going to die at
and
the
he
end
didn't
of that.
spoil
He
it.
didn't spoil it, and you're telling me you guys can't hold on for like a week? So yeah, once you go
I
through
think
that,
yeah.
you have to dodge. Like I watched The Last of Us. It's taken all I could not to watch every episode
Yeah.
right when it comes out because spoiler, people just can't hold their tongue for the instant social media. It's like I have to talk about it immediately the minute I stop watching.
Uh-huh.
Some people are respectful, say, "Hey, unless you've seen it, I'm not," or they they cover up their spoilers. But I hate it. I don't like spoilers. And when we first started the podcast, we were even worse. We are like, yeah, you know what? You get spoiled, you get spoiled. And I'm like, no, you know what? Now that I've gone through it, I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna cover an anime, we're gonna go into spoilers, but we've
Yeah.
gotten much better at
At least
the
spoilers ahead, you know.
Yeah,
you
or
know,
we got
crank
much-
that music down. I don't know.
we've gotten much better at the dropping spoiler for random anime here 30 minutes into the episode with no warning. Like, yeah, we used to be bad at that. And
Yeah.
I get why people don't like it. For me, it's like live sports and shit. Like for UFC, I will admit, if I don't know who's gonna win, it is so much more exciting. Like I'll still enjoy a fight if I know who's gonna win, like if it's spoiled for me on Reddit. But if I can stay off of Reddit and pick it up in the morning and check out that pay-per-view, oh my god, it is so exhilarating.
Is it?
So I will agree with it there. I don't know, maybe it's just TV shows are different for me.
No,
Yeah.
I totally get it.
That's fair, man. That's fair.
But yeah, sorry to let you down there.
That's fine, dude. I get it. Like we're talking about like starting and pressing the play button, and we've mentioned before, like to watch something, you feel like you have to review it. So
Yeah.
if you're gonna watch Death Note, obviously you can't just say, "Hey, I watched Death Note, guys.
Yeah.
Goodbye." We're gonna have to talk about it, you know.
Yeah.
So we might as well make it a hubbleaboo.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something else of a show that I've been spoiled, but I can't think of anything as of right now. I don't know about you, if you've gotten spoiled anything that can it's
I
just
mean,
spoilers
Attack
in
on
general.
Titan. I have that one big spoiler that I haven't.
Yeah, yeah.
I've only told you about because you've officially finished it now.
Yeah, yeah.
It won't, but you know, even then, it's like, well, I'm kind of that. If anything, that was like,
That got your
I'm
attention.
excited now.
Yeah.
Like, holy fuck. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know. Spoilers, dude. It's weird.
It is a
It's
weird
such
one.
a thing that's come out with the internet because, like, before you didn't have this place to talk to
Like
anybody.
immediately?
Yeah, you'd
Like
have to
posting immediately?
Yeah, like the only people talking about the movie immediately after, like, or the only way you'd be able to hear people talking about a movie 2 minutes after they watched it is if you were walking out of the theater with them.
Yeah.
You know, if you went to see Despicable Me 3 instead because your kids wouldn't stop bitching and
Same
you
thing
wanted
with
to go
after
see.
credit scenes.
Yeah. Which,
MCU started that whole thing, so now you're worried about walking out of the theater after the credits roll. You're like, wait, there
I'm
could
s-
be end credits.
there are because I'm not super invested in the Marvel universe or anything. Like,
No.
I enjoy them for what they are, but if there's an extra,
You've been way behind.
if I
now
miss
at
an
this
extra
point.
credit scene, it's like, I'll look it up on YouTube if
Yeah.
I really would need to see it that bad.
I've actually started doing that now because they're not worth it.
No, dude.
They
like,
made them worse.
I tell you what, I got frustrated for a while. There are certain movies where, and the theaters are pretty good at like signaling to you if there's an extra credit scene. You know, after credits,
They'll still stay
they
dark.
pop the lights on. You know, they're like, "Hey guys, nothing's coming. Get the fuck out."
We gotta clean the movie
There
theater.
have been times where and I don't know if you were necessarily a culprit. You probably were. But I'd stand up and like go to leave and turn around and everybody else is sitting down just like eating their popcorn still. And I'm like, what the fuck are you guys
That was
doing?
probably all of us during the early stages because they would turn on the lights, but if you didn't stay for the second end credit scene,
Yeah.
and like Deadpool had that, and it was the best one
I
ever.
think
Do you remember?
I think Deadpool might have actually been the one because
Yeah, because literally he's getting out of the shower, of course, wearing the suit. And he's
Yeah.
like, "What are you still doing here? Like the movie's over.
yeah.
Like you in the back." And he's like pointing. He's like, "Just go, leave." And then you're sitting there like, "Yes, he's telling you."
That's what I'm thinking.
But
like,
to me,
Jesus.
that's like one of the few where like I like that because it's like it's breaking the fourth wall. It's Deadpool. But yeah, if I wait all the way to the end and then it's some guy dancing in a corner and then it's like 30 seconds and it's done, I'm like, I didn't want to wait 5-6 minutes for that.
And like I like
So-
the idea of mid credit, extra credit stuff.
Yeah.
But so JoJo's every season, at least for the past like since part 3, they've done just a random after the big bad is fully revealed and they're about to have their fight. They do one of the openings has like the part 3. It was the middle of the opening. Dio cuts in, does Zworldo, stops time in the OP, and then like walks around Jonathan and like he has his own like voice actor part or whatever, and then it cuts back into the song.
No shit. I didn't even see that.
Exactly, because we skip openings and we skip endings and we miss that shit. And I guess that's more of an us problem because I
Yeah,
think
that is.
because they did it in part 6 too. There was a part where fucking when what the fuck, Poochie. When Poochie's heaven plan is like all like climaxing, Poochie fucking pops into the OP, starts doing Poochie shit. And there was one with Diavolo in part 5. And I think I missed that one and had to go look it up again.
Okay.
But it's like you're just for stupid people like me, you are setting me up to miss that because I know it happens in every season of JoJo's. Am I gonna remember to watch every OP in the last like 6 episodes? No, no, I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna miss it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be dumb. You know,
Yeah, I don't.
Just
I don't.
like,
I don't watch them either. So
after credit scenes too in anime. There have been, I think ReZero was famous for this. ReZero would fucking have after credit scenes all the time. I'd miss an entire scene of Subaru getting murdered or something, start the next episode, and then be like, wait, what the fuck?
how is he over there?
And then go back to the before the credits and be like, wait, I didn't miss anything. And then you look down and it says time remaining 6 minutes and 32
Yeah,
seconds.
if you see
I'm like,
4+ minutes and the credits are rolling now, that means there's an end credit scene.
do you ever get mad at like Hulu or Netflix because you're like, all right,
Netflix knows.
no, but be mad at them because they're not giving you the next episode button.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then you're like, what the fuck, Netflix? You stupid fucking and then you miss something because there was an after credit scene.
Yeah. So I have had that, but then I started realizing that if it doesn't show the next button,
Yeah.
that means something's at the end.
No, ReZero
So-
was the one who made me look at the time left in the video and be like, wait, there's something left.
Yeah. Not only that, Jujutsu Kaisen taught me that they have so many end. It's like it was just dumb parts,
Yeah.
funny things, but they added a lot of end credit scenes, and it got me used to like, okay, so stick
Yeah.
around for that if you want.
I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever enjoyed one of those in an anime. Like they're cute.
The Jujutsu Kaisen stuff.
Well, the thing that they do at the end of some, like I think Hunter x Hunter did it, and Blue Lock does it too.
Yeah, I'm
where
not a
it's
big
like,
fan of Blue Lock.
I think
on that.
Blue Lock calls it like extra time or something like that. Where
Yeah.
it's like you said, it's just usually a slice of life scenario where the characters are just hanging out, having fun. They might be in a little bit of a different art style, just being goofy.
Mhm.
I never have fucking time for those. I'm sure there's some people that really enjoy them, and even with characters I love the Hunter x Hunter guys. But the little thing where they like their little chibi Gon and Kilo at the end, like talking about the episode in the next
Yeah,
episode.
no one cares.
I don't got fucking time for that, dude.
We don't play games out here, man.
And fair play to people who like that shit, but I don't know that it's necessary. Like, I'd rather have them put the resources into something more akin to like a Chainsaw Man, where they did like a different ending for everything.
Yeah.
I like when series change the ending visuals up, even if I don't watch the whole thing. It's like, wow, you give a shit about this,
That
and
was
I
different.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, I
for
think
giving a
Yu Yu
shit.
Hakusho did that. They changed their endings quite a bit.
They
Never
changed-
changed the intros. But
They did. They changed the ending song a lot. They changed the ending visuals every time with the song. I do think there's something to be said for a long running show keeping a consistency throughout their OP. Like Hunter x Hunter would change their visuals, but the song would stay
yeah,
the
yeah,
same.
I remember that.
Except they changed the one part where it's like, you can fly away. And the next one's like, you can go away. All right. Bye. Ah, man.
No,
But yeah, I don't have time for that cutesy little bullshit at the end. It's like a filler episode to me. It's like you say you don't have time for EDs anyway. I gotta get to
No.
the next episode. We got shit to do.
I pretty
motherfucker.
much like Monster. It's just on to the next episode. I don't even check out the ending.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I just don't have time. The only one that got me was Jujutsu Kaisen. It's like you need to pull me immediately within 2 seconds.
And it's got to be a banger for me as far
Yeah.
as songs go. The visuals can be over the top amazing. If the song is not to my taste, I'm not listening to it. I'm not watching the ED, OP, whatever.
yeah.
It's got to be a banger of a song.
My God. So many things. I feel like this episode has been the complaints or what we don't like in certain aspects.
Yeah, I
We
guess.
got to bring that positivity, man.
All right, well, let's end. We got to end on a positive note.
End
then.
on a positive note.
We gotta finish up on something positive. Okay, you got something? Because I was struggling there for a minute. I was gonna go back to talking about wrestling.
No, well, I was gonna finish up. I want to say because I've been pretty much keeping everyone that is listening about like the animes I've been watching with my buddy Devin, redoing all the things. And also, I saw recently someone posted on our Discord like their 3x3s along with ours, and it had one of the Heavens Feels movies, which is the one of the like fourth or third different storytelling.
Yeah, it's
of
like the third branch.
the
or
third
the
branch
ending or
of the
whatever.
Fate series that's
Yep.
actually canon, if I could say that, because like Grand Order has nothing to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So-
it's like a whole. That's like a different canon.
Right.
It's a
So
whole
all
different
I'm
thing.
saying is we started like maybe 6 episodes of Fate Zero, and we just for some reason we were like, let's watch something else, and we did. So now we're essentially going back through Fate Zero, then gonna watch Fate Unlimited Blade Works,
Okay.
and he's gonna get Apple TV because apparently you can only watch that movie on Apple TV or buy the Blu-ray for like $40. So he's like, yeah, Apple TV, we'll start a free trial and we'll binge the 3 movies. And then I mentioned,
I mean, that's easy enough. Yeah.
yeah, and I mentioned to you like, hey, if you want to watch it with us. But I'm excited for that
Hell yeah.
because I really like the Fate series, and it's been so long since we watched it. We've never really had a true episode about it. And you know,
You're right.
maybe this will like we'll talk about the whole topics, maybe more of the movies if you know we
Dude,
get to it.
I tell you what, man, you want to do a Fate Zero episode? Like that's an anime that I would love to rewatch. Like I think if you told me, like, hey man, I want to review this because you're watching it now and it'll be fresh in your head, that's something that
Yeah.
I would have so much less of a problem pressing play.
Because you've already experienced it.
Yes, I think I've just been searching for comfort shit where it's like I know what to expect here
Yeah.
and I know I'm gonna like it.
That's why I want to rewatch Kotaro. You
Yeah.
know, I may have to do that eventually.
Yeah, you know what? I'm
Find
just
my
gonna-
happy place.
For the next month, I'm going to read Oyasumi Poon Poon again. I'm going to watch Kotaro. I'm
Oh,
going to go
boy.
back to the clinic for mental health. It's going to be great. We're going to fucking spiral, baby.
So that's my positive thing. I don't know about you.
Okay, I got to have something positive, right? Let's see. You know, at the risk of alienating everybody because I won't shut up about it, I'm honestly I'm having a lot of fun watching wrestling. I don't know how long this is going to last. I don't know if I'm going to be into it in another month, but for right now, I'm having fun. I really enjoy, now that I'm an adult, being able to separate the reality from the fiction.
Yeah, it brings more like interest to you.
Yeah, because I stopped watching it initially because I realized it wasn't real, and that hurt me, and it was the stupid, dumb baby stuff that I hated. But now I'm like, well, it is.
If only we could have merged like 8 months ago.
Yeah.
8 months ago, I was getting into the dark history of the WWE and more of like Shawn Michaels. That's why we were able to talk about it.
Hell
It's
yeah,
like
dog.
I was going into the Owen Hart situation.
Okay.
All the darker sides of
fucking-
like what you don't see. And I was like enthralled, but at the time you weren't talking about it. And I didn't
Did
think,
you learn
hey,
about the Montreal screw job?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, we were
dude,
talking about it. Yeah.
yeah.
That's fucked. Vince
Poor
McMahon
Bret-
fucked him.
Poor Bret Hart, man.
Poor Bret Hart.
Like, fuck.
So it's funny because it's like we always seem to be almost the same at some we just always miss it.
Yeah.
So-
yeah, we just missed.
So I feel it, you know, to take it all in, enjoy it. you
Yeah,
know?
like I'm just, and it's cool now that I'm an adult to be able to go that these people are real people and this is their job, but they're also acting.
To entertain.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's this weird combination of like when a guy bitches about not getting enough title opportunities on live air, I'm wondering how much of this is real.
Mm.
You know how? Yeah, of course it was sanctioned by WWE, and they're like, yeah, go talk shit about us. It'll be fun. People will like it. But there's got to be a little nugget of like reality there, you know?
Yeah.
Especially if you can see that this person keeps getting shafted or, you know, keeps losing in the big spot or whatever. And it's just very interesting that it's not quite acting, but it's not quite sports. It's sports entertainment. It's kind of its own little bubble,
Yeah.
and it provides some
Nothing quite like it.
nothing quite like it. And I will say, there's been a lot of women's wrestling matches. Women's wrestling has gotten so much fucking better, dude.
Yeah.
Like from when we were coming up, it was fucking glamour models, you know, and like
I mean, as a young kid, that's
Dude,
all I cared about. But I
I-
get what you're trying to put out there.
yeah.
Now I like the more, you know, mature
Yeah.
women, all that stuff.
Like,
and
and
yeah.
I love Stacy Keibler and Tori Wilson and Trish Stratus
Mm.
as much as the next guy. Don't get me wrong. Like, I had my sexual awakening while I was watching wrestling. Like, those two things were happening.
the
at
ones
the
where
same
they're in the
fucking
desert.
time.
Did you see that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
No, bra and panties matches, like so misogynistic. But like, there's a special place in my heart for that misogynistic bullshit. Okay,
Yes.
I will say that. But now, think of this. Okay, now you have the women are just as beautiful. They
Mhm.
are just as like Becky Lynch is. My
I don't know
God,
who that
she
is, but I will
stunning.
nod and agree.
She's Irish, and her hair is like that Irish red, and she's got a bootay, and
Bootay.
she kicks. But now you don't have to watch a bunch of fucking girls who have no idea how to wrestle pretend to have some shitty cat fight.
Yeah.
Now you get to actually see like real wrestling matches with beautiful women doing kick-ass stuff. Like it's kind of the best of both worlds, you know? Again, it's not as misogynistic. It's not like you don't have fucking Jerry Lawler being like, "Oh, look at those puppies." You know, but he was bad, okay?
Jerry Lawler.
He was a lot.
Holy shit.
But it's really cool to see that, like, and I still don't think it's perfect. I see a lot of people bitching about the subreddit of the WWE is bad, except for the top women contenders, like they're bad at building stars. But I think that's really cool to see like the women's division is like a legitimate thing now, and it's not just some, hey, let's look at some boobies between looking at guys fucking put their face in each other's crotches and then slam each other.
Yeah, I'm wearing spandex.
It almost felt like the beard for wrestling. It's like, it's not gay. It's not gay. Look, we got chicks in their underwear. It's not gay.
Yeah.
You're gay. This isn't gay.
They're doing a pillows fight. It can't be.
This can't be gay. Of course it's not gay. Look at Stacy Keibler. She's in her undies. It's not gay. You're gay. Fuck you. So yeah, that's my positive note. I've been having a lot of fun watching wrestling and
All right.
just nerding out about it, dude.
And that's what we're gonna do. Is like hopefully we just nerd out from here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. A real different type of one today.
Yeah, this is really just us. This is more akin to what a normal conversation of ours on like on a regular random ass Tuesday would be, you know?
Yeah, it would probably go off of more tandems.
We would have so many more tangents.
Tangents, not tandems, and just break off constantly. But we have to center it and keep
Yeah.
the conversation
This
going
is
on the
our
podcast. So.
our focused normal discussions,
Uh-huh.
but this is
Concentration.
yeah, no, for real though. If you listen to the whole thing and you got enjoyment out of this episode, I know we ask you every week to be like, hey, let us know if you like this episode or not. This is more of a sincere like, please tell us if you liked if you got enjoyment out of this episode. Let us know. Obviously, we'll see the listener numbers and shit, but if we give us the green light to start doing more open topics like
Broaden
this,
the horizon and all the discussions we can have.
I'd
The
love,
sky's the
you know,
limit
we
for
did
this podcast.
3x3s last week. I'd love to do a video game 3x3
Oh
because
my God.
that's really interesting.
Or my live action 3x3s.
Right.
You know how many movies I've watched?
oh fucking
I have a whole library
movies
downstairs.
one like that's you already know.
Yeah.
You listeners know our anime taste, but like to learn our video game taste in depth, like I think that
My
would
Lord
be,
of the Rings, like fucking
Yeah.
craziness I have.
I think that'd be fun to talk about.
Right.
So if you guys like for real join the Discord, like just send us a random fucking add us on Twitter, be like, hey, yes.
Yes.
If you just add us and say yes on Twitter, like we will assume that you liked this episode, and if you add us and say no, then
Or in the video, if you give us likes
Yeah,
and
you know,
thumbs up, we'll know.
also, I just want to say, as far as scheduling for the video goes, anybody who's been trying to watch the videos probably knows Tuesdays, sometime in the
Late
afternoon,
Tuesday or
seem
mid,
to be
yeah.
the day that I can get it released without tearing my hair out. It's not that hard to edit. It is a time-consuming total of to get everything set up for the video. I'm looking at 3 hours. No, 3 hours for one process.
More
I'm looking
honest
at,
confession.
I'm looking at like an 8-hour total render and upload time between formatting the video, rendering the video, uploading it to YouTube. There's at least half a day,
Yeah.
full day worth of just letting my computer do computer stuff.
You hear these people talk about what they have to do for the YouTube
Yeah.
and stuff. It's like, yeah, you're
Like
right.
I'm probably
Probably even more than we do.
gonna buy a solid state hard drive soon to expedite that. But yes, for anybody who's been like, why aren't the videos out on Monday? If by the grace of God I can get them out on Monday, they will be there. If not, by Tuesday night we'll be expecting them. Yes, hold on, let me take a sip of water and then I'll do plugs. JD, filibuster for a minute.
Well, thank you guys for being here. I am having to go to the bathroom soon.
Okay, well, we'll keep this nice, short, and sweet. So JD doesn't poop his pants.
Actually, just pee.
Okay, well, either way, it's not good, okay? We want to avoid that.
Yeah.
So we already mentioned this before. Discord, Instagram, Twitter. That is how you get a hold of us. We also have an email, too. All those links are in the show notes, except for YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, because it asked you to do stuff for third-party links, and I haven't done that yet, so
Yeah.
there are no links on the YouTube, but I assume most of our listeners and watchers, most of you guys are on podcast platforms. patreon.com/Anime Brothers Podcast, $1 and up. Patron, monthly Q&A, exclusive Discord chat, early access to extra episodes, all for $1.
Only $1.
That's it, just one single dollar. And you get our love and admiration because you're helping support one of the most podcasts of all time.
Yeah.
One of the podcasts
The
of all
most
time.
podcast? Okay.
Yes. We are on the internet.
We're on the internet.
People have said they are weekly. But that's it. I'm going to let you guys go. JD, thanks, homie. Listeners, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Peace out.
We'll see you in the next episode.